Hi, I'm E.D. Lewis, and welcome back to my channel, E.D. Lewis Reviews, back with an all-new video. This is the ratings and reviews tag. It was created by Gunpowder, Fiction and Plot, and I was tagged by John at Books of Blood, so do check out his channel. And the first prompt in this is actually to tag people, so I'm going to tag Mindy at Mindy's Book Journey, Regina at Regina's Haunted Library, and I'm going to tag David at David's book review. Number 2, how do you know you've just finished a good book? Is it a thinking or a feeling response? For me, it's probably a little bit of both, because it just depends, did the book jive with me? Did I enjoy what happened in the book, the twists, the turns, the characters, the overall plot or lack thereof, because sometimes I do enjoy books that really don't have much plot and are very character driven. I enjoyed it thoroughly, and if it had slow spots that I didn't really notice because they were prevalent to the story and they just kind of helped build, so I would say kind of both. Number 3, when you begin to form your review/rating, what is the first question you ask yourself? I think of several things, because I think of, what am I going to rate this book? What would I consider on my scale? And I also think, how do I want to go about reviewing, like when I do a video review, do I want to go about, reading a synopsis or come up with my own, and what do I want to say about it? What do I want to leave out? And I think, what do I want to talk about in particular and mention, without it being spoilers, I guess. So it's just kind of, what were my impressions of the book? 4, do you do star ratings? Why not? And it's an A and B question. I'm not going to read the B because I'm not doing no, because I do ratings now. I used to not. So A, if yes, explain your rating system. What does a good book get in your rating system? Is your star rating consistent? I.e., are all your 5-star books better than all your 4-star books? Well, yes, I do one now. I didn't used to do one. I had wanted to do one for the longest time, and I wanted to do like bats or haunted houses instead of like like stars. What I do is I never rate anything a 1 star. I just don't. My lowest rating is 2 stars, and that's going to be a rare thing. That's just if I did not enjoy the book at all. Just didn't care for it. Didn't like it. I did finish it. But that's a very rare thing, because I hardly find anything like that. A 3-star is, I thought the book was okay. It was either good or it was an okay. That's on the line. 4, I really liked the book. It was very good. Well, here, we'll just say it was good. So 4 is good for me. I enjoyed the book. Didn't think it was the most wonderful thing in the world. But I liked it. I thought it was a good book. And 5 stars is wonderful. I absolutely loved it. It was really good. I, definitely read this again, so I may be thinking about it for days, weeks, months, years. So that's kind of how my rating system is. And what does a good book get in your rating system? Well, a good book gets 4 stars, and a book that I absolutely love gets 5. So that answers that. So number 5 is, do you believe every book has a perfect reader? Does this contradict the idea that a book can be bad? No, I don't think there's a perfect reader for anything, because, nothing is perfect and nobody is perfect, but, so, I don't know. I guess a perfect reader would be like someone who just loves, just absolutely loved everything about it, and I kind of doubt that there's going to be a book that's just, that one of the readers is a big fan of that book is just going to love every single thing. I'm sure there's going to find something that they would have liked to have tweaked or changed or left out or something, even, no matter how minute it was, And does it contradict if a book can be bad? I would say probably, because it's subjective. What is a good book to one person is not a good book to another, and what is a bad book to one is not a bad book to another. So it's subjective. So it probably does contradict it. 6. What book that you hated have you recommended? I don't really have an answer for that one. I can't answer it because there's no book that I've absolutely hated that I've recommended to anybody. Now, there's books that I haven't cared much for and I've given like a 3-star review on. And I said, I didn't care for it, or it wasn't great. It was okay, but you might like it. And I'm never going to say that a book is trash or you shouldn't read it, because everybody, will have different tastes. So if I don't like some book, you might like some book, or vice versa, 7. What makes a book good, bad, or great by your evaluation? I guess what I would consider a book to be good is that I found it entertaining, I found it engaging, it, perhaps even thought-provoking. Not every book that I would consider good is thought-provoking, that I enjoyed it and it made me, keep on reading. Or even during the slow parts, because I'm like, okay, this part's kind of, can't wait to get through this, and then like, ooh, something just happened. Or, ooh, what's this? Something, ooh, that's kind of weird. Something, I wonder what's going to come of this. And then, there's interest in there. It keeps you going. Or keeps me going, anyway. So, 8. When evaluating the quality of a book, do you have specific criteria or aspects of the book, such as character development, that you consider? Does this change if you're writing an in-depth review versus just thinking about the book for enjoyment? I don't really evaluate the quality of books very well. I mean, I can look at it and be like, this is not, very well written, but it doesn't really change. How it might change, like, my reviews, like, I might say that they didn't develop the character. I'll make note of it and say, well, here's like, I might say that, about a shortcoming, like, here's a downside about this book, in my opinion, this character, didn't go through much of a change and stayed pretty static, and this is why I say that without giving too much of it away. Or it's not, the writing style wasn't perfect by any means. It could have had more, the writing could have been a little more expressive, or something like that, in my discussion. I don't really write in-depth reviews, though. And I read every book I read usually for enjoyment, unless I'm doing it for some sort of research purposes. 9. Do you consider star rating or average rank rating when choosing a book to read or add to your TBR? No. I may look at the reviews to curiosity after I've already picked up the book and I'm starting reading to see what other people thought of it. 10. Who on BookTube does reliable and interesting reviews on books that you can use to decide if a book is for you or not? What makes their reviews so good? Well, these would be people like John at Books of Blood, Regina at Regina's Haunted Library, Mindy at Mindy's Book Journey. It's just, I guess, just their candor about the books, and also just the type of books that they read. Now, some of them may not be books I necessarily am interested in for whatever reason, or they might be stuff that's really up my alley. But if the review, their candor about it, this is why they liked it, this is why they didn't like it, this is, this X, Y, or Z about this book, that's what generally helps me decide. And, that's what makes their reviews so good, too, is that they, are so candid about it. And they review and read what they like to read, And number 11, does that or those booktuber or booktubers use different language than you to evaluate and review the overall quality of a book? Yes, they do. Of course they do, because all reviewers use their own language and stuff, because everybody has their own way of talking and speaking. So, yes, of course they do. I have my style, they have their style, and everybody on BookTube has their own style and way of doing things. So, yeah. Anyway, that's my take on this, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time with another video very soon. So stay spooky and stay safe, and I'll see you later. Bye bye.